Obviously, I do invest quite a lot of time and energy into creating high quality content. I think that's the most important aspect of LinkedIn, because you could grow and do very well without doing all the tedious engagement work, just through good content, like authentic, unique content. So I think that's the most important thing. But then also it's building relationships with people in the DMs and the comments, because I think a secret that I follow is I reply to every single one of my DMs, no matter who you are and what you say. Even some people just say, "Hey, how are you doing?" And I'm like, "I'm good, man. How are you?" And I know other creators would ignore that because it's not like a lead, and they treat it very much as like a business platform, which it is, LinkedIn, but it's also a social media platform. I think it's very important to be social and just to build relationships with people, no matter who they are, to be honest. So that's probably one of the biggest hacks.
Yeah, I like it and I agree. And as you mentioned that sometimes people just text you, "How are you?" It's a nice message. But before we dive into today's episode, please hit that subscribe button. Your support helps us grow and inspire more people on their journeys. Thank you. Hello, Charlie. Thank you for joining us today and welcome to the show.
Hi, Thomas. Yeah, thanks so much for having me for the second time. It feels, surreal to be the first creator to be invited on this podcast twice. So thank you so much for having me.
The pleasure is mine. It's very first sequel episode when I do the episode with the creator for the second time. And as we just discussed, you've grown a lot since we spoke last time. But in case there is still someone who doesn't know who Charlie is, can you please introduce yourself?
Yeah, I'm Charlie Hills. I'm an AI content marketer. And yeah, I very much focus on creating authentic AI content. My background's digital marketing, and I just fell in love with AI thanks to my university dissertation. I wrote about on the impact of AI on customer loyalty in the retail industry. And then ChatGPT came out and I was like, okay, let's go. It's a new era. And yeah, since the launch, I've been using it every single day. So that's me in a nutshell.
I would say that we could discuss like your journey. How did you discover AI or your dissertation? But I would tell people to listen to the previous episode because we discussed it quite a lot over there and it's packed with all the background and the startup that you did and everything around it. But since then, tell us what has happened since we spoke the last time. It's been a while. You've grown a lot, as I mentioned before, so there must be so much exciting stuff to discuss.
Yeah, I can't remember how many followers I was on when I originally appeared on the podcast. I think it was like 12,000 or something. Now it's like near enough 90K. So
we can say that when we release this episode, because we record a bit in advance, I'm certain, I would maybe even bet that there will be 100K, which amazing milestone.
I think so too. Yeah, I'm aiming before May. So yeah, fingers crossed, but no pressure if not. It doesn't matter if I don't hit it, but 100%, man. Yeah. I mean,
remind me, Charlie, what was your goal by the end of last year? I remember you had a goal. What was it?
It was 50,000 and I did that.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I managed to reach 55K in 1 year, which is like a similar growth trajectory to the likes of Lara. So onwards and upwards, to be honest. I don't know where I'll be at the end of this year. I'm thinking maybe 150K.
That was my question, actually. If you got like an idea what by the end of the year, would that be then?
Yeah, 150.
How much did you say? 150, yeah.
Yeah, that's the target. Because if I hit 100 by May, then I have more than 6 months to. So it might be more than 150K, to be honest. But I don't want to put too much pressure on myself because I think 100K is enough, to be honest. I might just have a break and not post for some time after that.
Yeah, it's crazy. Can you actually imagine what it looks like, such a high number of people? Because, for example, today I saw the post, what it looks like when you're in the room with the audience of, I think, 500 people. And it was like a lot, if you imagine 500. And if it's even 100K, it's crazy.
Yeah. Oh my God, I'd be absolutely crapping myself if I was in a room with 100K people. Jesus. But yeah, on LinkedIn, I guess it's a different story. I mean, these people just must like what I'm doing. And it honestly, I amaze myself every time that I just keep growing. Even a friend of mine said, you're going to blow up exponentially on LinkedIn. I was like, really? Me? Why? Like, I don't get it. And suddenly overnight, it seems to have happened just through consistency and good content.
Yes. I'm pretty sure that there are like people who asked you and are probably even wondering now as we are speaking, that common message, what is your secret or what is your advice? Which I would say that there isn't really advice or secret. It's like about showing up and delivering quality content. But what would be your answer to this question?
Yeah, it's a good question. Obviously, I do invest quite a lot of time and energy into creating high quality content. I think that's the most important aspect of LinkedIn, because you could grow and do very well without doing all the tedious engagement work just through good content, like authentic, unique content. So I think that's the most important thing. But then also it's building relationships with people in the DMs and the comments. Because I think a secret that I follow is I reply to every single one of my DMs, no matter who you are and what you say. Even some people just say, "Hey, how are you doing?" And I'm like, "I'm good, man. How are you?" And I know other creators would ignore that because it's not like a lead, and they treat it very much as like a business platform, which it is, LinkedIn, but it's also a social media platform. So I think it's very important to be social and just to build relationships with people, no matter who they are, to be honest. So that's probably one of the biggest hacks.
I like it and I agree. And as you mentioned that sometimes people just text you, how are you? It's a nice message. But I feel like that sometimes, because people text you like this and often it's for the sake of trying to pitch you something later. So when someone genuinely asks you, how are you? I'm actually happy about it because I'm like, okay, what do you want? What do you need from me? And he's like, nothing. I just wanted to say, like, how is it going and build the relationship. And it actually makes me really happy that some people won't actually build a genuine relationship. So I'm glad that you pointed it out.
Yeah, of course. I mean, like sometimes I'm so busy, I'm just like, oh, for God's sake, like, ugh, like I've got to reply, but I know it's important for that community building aspect. And like you say, yeah, to that person, that might mean a lot because they are just genuinely curious and want to check in with you.
And imagine if it's a smaller creator and he or she gets a reply from like someone almost with 100K like you, it might be a great inspiration.
Yeah, no, yeah, people are so thankful because I know how much it means to them. I mean, we were all in their position one day, so I truly remember how that felt when I was just a smaller creator trying to figure everything out. So yeah, I know it means the world to people.
Yeah, I agree. And of course, the big part of the growth is the quality content. And if I'm not mistaken, you post every day, which not going inside, it's quite time consuming.
Yeah.
And especially if it's a quality content. So how do you manage, to create it so regularly, stay consistent and keep the quality up?
Yeah, good question. So, I mean, I was designing all my own content up until like August of last year. I'd spending my weekends creating content because I was working full time. So it was a challenge to stay consistent and still post every single day. And the biggest and best thing that I did for myself and my business was to outsource to graphic designers. I feel like I've got the best team of creatives now, just finding them through LinkedIn, just seeing their content and wanting to work together. And that, finding the right people in combination with these AI processes that I'm using, such as like I have a Carousel GPT, infographic GPT, stuff that distills long form content or research and makes it into bite-sized LinkedIn posts. That just expedites the process. I can literally, I don't have to spend too much time on the design side of things, and I can focus on the more important aspects, which are like the content strategy and the ideation of the content ideas.
And have you got like a set structure? For example, Monday I post this type of content, Tuesday this type of content, or it doesn't matter?
It doesn't matter too much, to be honest. And the only thing that I kind of stick to a set structure is on Sundays, I'll post a video post or a lead magnet. I'm not sure why, because it's a bit arbitrary why I'm doing that. But besides that, I like to post different media types every single day. So carousel, infographic, video, carousel, and rotate between them. I never like to post an infographic 2-3 days in a row because I find that you can experience audience fatigue potentially. Unless you are like the infographic guy, then do that. But
like a barista.
yeah, of course, but he still loves a carousel too. And yeah, I found that in October, my performance of my content was kind of like declining. And I think it's because I just went overkill on the infographics because I thought carousels were dead. But in actuality, I'm seeing some of the highest levels of reach with carousel content now. So I think I was just a bit
even higher than with video.
Yeah, I mean, obviously the videos seem to generate a higher amount of impressions, but the follower growth really comes from those high converting carousels, because I think
Mhm.
people spend more time on there and they also see more value in the carousels versus a video. It's, you have to actually be invested to sit down and want to watch that for like 2
Mhm.
minutes, basically, I think.
And how do you think it changed with the recent update of the videos?
With the,
Like, for example, one thing when it comes to the app and the button, and the second with the preview of the text, because now you can see obviously only the first few lines or the first line.
oh yeah, I'm not a big fan of that update. The vertical video, like it's got like curved corners, hasn't it? And they've recently removed the video feed, which, I mean, I tend to post more horizontal style videos rather than talking heads. I find talking heads really struggle to do well. Whereas if I record like an AI workflow or breaking AI news, it tends to do quite well because it's very current and people are interested in it rather than me talking about like personal development or something
Yeah.
something else, which I think is harder to garner that attention. So I'm not a big fan of the update. I think it can, cut off and crop some of the vertical video. But hey, LinkedIn reported recently that it was working very well and everything's going very
Really, I didn't know.
but I'm not convinced.
I was a bit disappointed with the preview of the video
Yeah.
because I like to play or write the text, and now
Mhm.
I'm pretty sure that people just scroll and it depends only on the hook and the first one or first two lines.
Mm. Yeah. I'd rather click see more at the top and then actually read the caption as well alongside the video. So yeah, no, thumbs down from me.
I agree. And do you also sometimes post more than once per day?
Sometimes, sometimes.
Yeah, I knew it.
Yeah, it really depends. Like if they're a very current AI update, such as like ChatGPT, Claude, or Perplexity, and it's literally just broke. It's usually around the ChatGPT content, to be honest, because I want to be the first to break that news. And even if it's outside my posting time, which typically can mean lower reach and engagement, I know that this is so breaking that I want to be one of the first to get it out there. So only in those cases. I'm not quite at the position when I can do more than one post per day regularly. But
Yeah.
yeah.
And just speaking of this, is that something that you would plan for the future to regularly, more frequently per day?
It's quite a hard question. I don't think so because I don't want to sacrifice quality, to be honest, because I think that 7 days a week is more than enough. If anything, I might go the opposite direction and maybe do less posts per week and just focus on the
Yeah.
top, highest quality content out there, because it's not a fun feeling just to fill the calendar rather than that
I
actually post
agree.
something you really care about.
Mhm. One of the reasons why I asked before is that I also noticed that sometimes you posted breaking news, and also I spoke with someone in previous episodes, and she mentioned that Charlie sometimes posts in crazy times, and that's when there's like a breaking news and you post it, which was kind of sometimes unexpected, but then you see that it's breaking news, so it makes sense.
Yeah, I love AI that much. I'm just literally, as soon as I see the news, and it's typically from LinkedIn, someone else might post about it. But to actually do like a recorded video of it to actually show your first-hand experience of using the new update, that takes a little bit more effort. So I'm like, okay, let's go. So
Need to do the whole setup, quickly recording and put it out there.
yeah, I mean, without the camera, usually.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, just like, because I'm using Screen Studio. Everyone always asks me which app I use to record those videos, and it's super cool. It like zooms in and gives a really good demonstration of the new feature or update.
Has it happened to you that you posted, whether it's breaking news or something, in your posts, and then you noticed or found out that it was wrong or it wasn't true?
Yeah, I mean, not so much the topic, but sometimes the information in the posts, like especially if I haven't researched it thoroughly. I think once I posted about Claude's new 3.7 Sonnet update, and I said that it was 200 tokens, but then someone commented and said it was 128 tokens. I was like, oh
Oh, okay,
god!
okay.
Like I had to like edit the caption, and I guess that's my to my own detriment for not like just looking at the shiny object and being like, I'm going to post about it, and then using AI to research it and then
Yeah.
not to thoroughly read the article.
I guess it would be worse if it was like in a design, which, if I'm
Mm.
not mistaken, you cannot edit the post and, for example, change the carousel for the previous one.
No way. Yeah, of course. That'd be like very saddening. I'd have to delete the post and edit the design and repost.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And talking about the latest news in AI, what are your sources? Such as whom do you follow, or if any websites or any other sources?
Yeah. So I mean, it's typically all just LinkedIn. To be honest, sometimes, yeah. Like, I need to get better at that. Like, I want to set up an automation with ChatGPT scheduled tasks to tell me AI news every day, because sometimes there's really cool stuff, and then it'll come out and it's too late. I'm like, damn, I've missed the breaking opportunity here. But besides that,
Competition posted earlier than me, like someone else on LinkedIn.
yeah, then I'd be up, crack of dawn, recording videos about it. But yeah, it's all from LinkedIn, to be honest. Like, sometimes in the evening, I'll be scrolling through the platform, and someone who's not even like a big creator might just post about like the new ChatGPT update, and that's how I'm alerted. Like, I remember I was once at the restaurant or bar, and I saw the new O3 mini update, and I literally like ran home. I was like, I'm recording a video on this. Like, bye everyone. But the people who I follow for it, there's this guy called Tim Kakier. I'm not sure how to pronounce it. I'm really bad with pronouncing names, so sorry, Tim, if you're listening. But he's really good with new AI updates. Also, Paul Couvert, he's always comes up with really smart workflows with AI updates. And then obviously the EasyGen team, Axel and Ruben, they're usually pretty on top of it. They're like a machine over there. So
I need to Google the first two. I'm not going to not Google.
LinkedIn search.
Check them out. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll
or
send them to
Grok.
you. But yeah, he's doing some cool stuff with AI, and he doesn't really get tons of engagement, but I think he deserves it. Yeah.
Behind the scenes information that when I speak with some people on the podcast and often ask them when it comes to AI, understandably they also say that they get AI information from LinkedIn, which I'm not surprised I do as well. But as I texted you, Charlie, a few times, you are actually one of the creators that is often cited as a source for AI news. So was this your goal, or would you before like expect or plan to become this type of person, like go-to person for AI news?
I guess, yeah. When I first started out on LinkedIn, that was literally my main topic that I was posting about, was the latest AI news. I remember I used to check the product hunt daily to see if there's any new AI tools out there, and then I just post about them instantly. So yeah, maybe when I started, not to this level of following, but for sure, I think that's always been a key content pillar of mine. It's only in the past 6 to 8 months I've really started to talk about LinkedIn specific content, which does very well because it's LinkedIn specific, and I feel like I know enough about it now. But to answer your question, I guess maybe, but not to have people here on your podcast and say, yeah, Charlie's the guy for AI news.
But I promise that, I mean, I asked the question because I'm genuinely curious, and AI is a big topic. So I want to know from other creators, such as what they use, where they get their information from, or whom they follow. But they really say like, Charlie is the guy. I'm like, yeah, it makes sense. Is like my source as well. So I guess it's nice to hear, but at the same time puts a bit of pressure on you, because then you need to deliver the quality that people expect.
Yeah, no, 100%. I mean, I went through a stage of posting tons of LinkedIn stuff, and I was like, hang on a minute, I need to go back to the AI stuff here now, because this is why people follow me, to be honest. And besides that, I mean, Perplexity is quite good for AI news. Sometimes I'll just log into Perplexity and they have like a news tab at the bottom. And I'm like, oh, that's cool. Oh yeah, and the other point was that I think I live in like this bubble of AI, and I forget that some people don't actually like live and breathe it as much as myself or others potentially do. I just assume that everybody knows about the new ChatGPT update, but then when I post about it, everyone's like, "Oh yeah, awesome! Thanks for sharing with us." So I think, yeah, I just need to get out of my own head sometimes and remember that people really value AI content. Even I posted about custom GPTs yesterday, and it's doing very well. Everyone's like, "Whoa, major resource!" But like, GPTs have been out for like a year and a half, so I thought everyone knows how to use them, but actually, it's still like 1% of users.
That is true. And I remember I did episode with Hank Barker a few months ago, and he mentioned that they do like courses for some companies,
Hmm.
and then they were teaching people how to use ChatGPT, and there were quite a lot of people who's never used it. I would expect, or I don't know, maybe not expect, but I would assume that many or the majority of people try it or know it or explore it already. You never know. There are still people who have no idea or just haven't tried it.
Yeah. No, I think there's a large portion of people, I guess, obviously being in like, I'm the oldest Gen Z out there, so being like a digital native, it just comes a lot easier to us, I guess, typing into the computer. But obviously, I seem like the older you become, the harder it is to learn new skills. And prompt engineering is a totally different ball game. You know, it doesn't come with a manual or a simple guide to how to do it, so it's still all quite complex. Like even I'm speaking at this event next month, and I'm questioning myself. I'm like, wait, is this content valuable? Are people going to be like, oh yeah, I know that already? Or are they going to be like amazed and be like, whoa, Charlie, you just flipped the script for us and showed us how to use AI?
That is true. Is it the one in Athens?
Yes, yeah, it's in Cyprus and then Athens. It's 2 events. So it's my first public speaking gig. So I'm excited, but also a little bit nervous.
Do you want to, or can you tell us more like behind the scenes information, such as how did you get there? What is it going to be about? Maybe why Charlie?
Yeah, so I mean, it was all through LinkedIn, to be honest. Like the events manager reached out to me and said, hey, I love your content. Even though, to be fair, she said she didn't read it specifically, and she didn't really understand it, which I guess goes to my point that people are still only scratching the surface with it. But someone recommended me to her, and she reached out to me and said, hey, we'll fly you out. We'll get you speaking at the event. And I'm doing about how to create AI content that converts, that's authentic, because authenticity is the big piece here, which I'm really focusing on for the talk. And I'm being joined by Jeremy Gondelin, so I'm quite excited to have a friend out there. It's not just going to be me speaking. So yeah, it was just through LinkedIn. It's the start of next month, April, at the time of recording it. So I probably would have done it by the time this episode goes out. But yeah, it's quite exciting to.
And what's the event about, or what type of occasion is it?
Yeah, so it's AI in marketing. Obviously, I'm a marketer by trade, so it's right up my street, to be honest. It should be a good one. I've attended tons of events myself, so just need to get up on the stage now and do it.
Yeah. Are you the type of person who prepares in advance, or do you do kind of freestyle, or what's your approach?
Yeah, I'm learning. So I'm getting coaching exercises from Pascale. I don't know if you know her on LinkedIn, but I signed up to that in January because I anticipated that I would start doing public speaking as part of just building a personal brand.
Yeah.
And lo and behold, someone reached out to me a week later and was like, we want you to speak. So it was good timing.
Perfect timing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And it's kind of like a weird psychology with public speaking is that I'm very used to sharing AI workflows and recording my screen, saying this, how to do it in real time. But with public speaking, you're less relying on your screen and more just talking to the audience. So
Yeah.
I started preparing with like a big script, being like, I'm going to say this, and this. And then when I actually practiced it, I was like, oh God, that isn't how you do it. So I've just got like rough ideas of what I'm going to say. And then it's going to have to be like a freestyle on the day while sticking to the kind of the loose structure that I've got in mind.
Yeah. I hope there will be a recording or maybe live.
I know, I need some
Cool.
pictures to add to my LinkedIn banner.
Yeah.
Definitely, man.
And you recently also did something with Jeremy in Paris, right?
So yeah, he spoke at a Clay event in Paris, and I just went along and watched him because he invited me out. We're a good friend. So I went to Lemlist HQ and saw him and the team talk about Clay and how to use it. So it was very enriching for me as a inbound content guy to learn about outbound data enrichment. So yeah, eye-opening experience. I just made a trip out of it, and I recorded some content with Jeremy, which hopefully everyone will be seeing or have seen soon.
Yeah, nice. And then as you are speaking about this, does that mean that you are open to more speaking opportunities like this in the future?
Yeah, 100%. Like I'm talking with someone else about doing one in London because obviously it can be a good part of your personal brand. It can also be a good revenue stream for my business. But I honestly just want to do it for myself. It's because I grew up with a stutter. I'm quite an introverted, shy person. So I really want to just get out of my comfort zone and to keep pushing myself and I just know it's a very, very important part of building a personal brand to actually like go out there, show yourself, and just do it, man. So yeah, the first one's going to be a bit sticky, but once I get some reps in, then I'll be strong, I'm sure, on that front.
No, I can imagine. To be honest, I felt not similar because I don't want to compare it, but when I did like my first LinkedIn Live, it felt strange as well because although I record the podcast regularly and it's something that you do like on regular basis, then still LinkedIn Live or like the live recording is different because you're on the opposite side. It's live, it's not edited. So I felt a bit, I don't know, nervous and step out of comfort zone as well. But in the end, it was really fun and I enjoyed it.
100%. Yeah. No, I know that feeling. I've done many LinkedIn Lives and podcasts, and the first few were bloody nerve-wracking. And then the recent ones I've been doing, like, they've just been going super well and just super natural. But the good thing about those is that you can...
Another one.
Yeah, exactly. Like, it's like muscle memory. But the good things about those is that you can conceal, like, sweat. Whereas I like sweat so much. So I've been having like, anxious thoughts about getting up on the stage, and I was just like dripping with sweat.
Oh, yeah.
And there's no hiding there. Like, I can get like a napkin to wipe it off. And the worst thing about it is that once you start sweating, then it just keeps coming because then you're self-conscious about it. So
yeah. And when it comes to public speaking, do you have like any, let's say, inspirations? Because, for example, people watch TED Talks or this type of videos when it comes to public speaking. Do you have any people that, you look up to or are inspiration, or someone that you like the way that they present themselves?
Yeah. So, I mean, they're not going to be your typical like TEDx speakers. I mean, I guess Nusheen would be a good one. I'm always watching her videos on LinkedIn as she's like super giving with her like public speaking guidance. But besides that, I'd honestly say Ruben. I really enjoy the way that he speaks. I know he was coached by Nusheen, and yeah, he's really engaging, as well as Yasmin Alec. I think he's super composed, and yeah, I love the way he speaks on stage, and as well Lara, I'd say. I really admire the fact that she gets up on stage. I think she's younger than me, and she just does it. Like, she's speaking all over the globe at the minute. So kudos to her.
I agree. I read recently that she went, I don't know if it was LA or somewhere, and a few other places before, which is pretty cool. Who knows, maybe, or probably in a few months or years, Charlie will be the same.
Yeah, no, 100%. I mean, I think that's one of the perks of public speaking is you get to visit all these cool places. Like, I've never been to Cyprus before. I'm going next month. So it's just nice to leave the UK every so often.
I agree. And will be definitely, or I'm pretty sure, beautiful weather, or at least nicer than in the UK.
Well, yeah, for sure. I mean, that's part of my fear of sweating. I'm just like, is it going to be too hot for me? But yes, it'll be good. Hopefully I can see some sights and it's not too work heavy.
Are you struggling to stay consistent on LinkedIn? FanPost helps you create high-quality posts in minutes, so you can write faster, show up more, and stress way less. Built by creators for creators. It's the easiest way to grow your presence without burning out. Try it free at fanpost.com. And besides like public speaking, have you got any other goals or areas that you want to work on, focus on for the future?
Yeah, good question. I mean, there's many moving parts in a minute. I'm very focused on my content agency, working with my clients and posting content to my own LinkedIn, but I'm working on building a community, which is still kind of a work in progress. I'm thinking either that or an accelerator, because again, it just opens up another stream of revenue for my business. But besides that, I've really thought about a SaaS product. Like, I've really wanted to get into the SaaS game. I think it'd be really cool. Like, I wanted to make an infographic generator tool, but I just know the market's moving so fast, and it's like now or never if I really want to launch it. But the good thing is that my personal brand and the following isn't going away. So I think that gives me the perfect platform to consider launching a SaaS product, because the more followers you have, the easier it becomes to sell your SaaS.
And speaking of starting with your community, like what platform or where would you want to host it? Such as, I don't know, Patreon or something else, or I don't know what else is out there.
Yeah, I didn't think about Patreon. I started off thinking about Heartbeats. It seems to have a nice feel to it. But then someone reached out to me and said, like, why don't you do it on School instead? Because School is the communities of communities. You can joined many.
He's the one that Hormozy bought, right?
Yeah, exactly. He's invested in it, and it seems I don't really enjoy the UX and the UI of School. It's not that great, but it's smart because then you can kind of cross collaborate in communities and like share each other's members. And most people already signed up to School, so it just means like one less platform to have to sign up to if I launched on Patreon or Heartbeat, for example. But yeah, I just really want to nail it because the amount of people who have warned me about launching a community, being like, Charlie, it's going to be very time consuming. Don't do it. It's like, it takes a lot of work. So I totally hear them. I'm just kind of taking my time with that and making sure I really nail it.
And do you have like a rough date when you would launch it?
Yeah, it could be as soon as like end of April, May, potentially. I mean, I need to talk with a few more people and really get like a feeling for what's required, like whether I need to record modules before, or like, for example, I'm looking at like Lara's Literally Academy and seeing what she's doing over there because it's quite smart the way she's approached it. So I'm thinking maybe like there's a course to start with, and then there's like a retainer of subscription cost to keep people on board to have that community aspect and like talk with me weekly and speak over like async messaging. So yeah, it's honestly May would be a good time to estimate, but it could be later than that. I'm not in a massive rush with it.
Yeah. And with the accelerator, I guess that would be something related to AI. Would it be like some kind of course, or what would it be?
Yeah, it'd be LinkedIn AI, to be honest. I think that's obviously my two kind of areas of expertise. So leveraging AI for LinkedIn and content specific. So yeah, I'm just putting, because I've recorded a course before, but the trouble with AI content is that it gets out of date quite fast. So that was 6 months.
Yeah.
So
it will need to be updated very frequently.
yeah, 100%. So I think I need to re-record it because a lot has changed since October of last year. But yeah, I just need to get the good setup, which I think I have now. Like, if you haven't noticed, I've got a nice mic here.
Yeah, just need to get the fireplace in the background and you are ready.
Yeah, of course. That's trademark Charlie. I think I must now because you're like the 5th, 6th, 7th person who told me like, where's the fireplace? So bring it back.
For the people who are only listening, you need to watch the video as well. But because since I noticed, you cannot unnotice once you notice.
With the fireplace. Yeah. Really, man.
And then the last one is you mentioned the SaaS product or a carousel creator or something like that. Are you actually someone who knows how to code, or would you do it with AI, or how would you do a product like that? It's not easy, is it?
No, of course not. That's probably why I've put it off for so long, but I don't know how to code. No, like I know how to interpret some HTML code, but that's not very useful for building a SaaS product, really. With tools like Claude and Replit, it's so easy now to build a SaaS in 2025. I think I would need to partner with someone who's technical to do it because I'm the marketer here. I'm the face. I'm the lead driver, let's say. So yeah, I'm not sure how to code, but with AI and some smart brains, I'm sure we can make it happen.
I think the great inspiration with this is Jonathan, who doesn't code, or maybe some basics, but doesn't really know how to code. But he built two monsters.
Who?
Which is Jonathan Cohen.
Yeah, him. Yeah, of course. His little monsters. Yeah, they're super impressive. He appeared on the podcast, didn't he? Not so long ago.
And I think he said he doesn't know how to code, or maybe just some basics. But it seems like that two monsters are really great too.
Wow. I mean, that's super impressive because I know AI can get you like 80% of the way there with most things. But with code, like if there's like nitty details you have to amend in the code, I don't know how he's going around that. That's, I mean, kudos to him.
I have no idea either, but it seems like he nailed it, and it's only growing. So I'm happy for him that it's going.
Yeah, I still need to try Hooky. It's been on my to-do list forever to try Hooky. I hear good things about him.
And as we spoke, Charlie, about your soon to hit milestone, what's going to be our celebration? once it happens?
Yeah, so I mean, I literally celebrated like every 1,000 milestone along the way.
Oh my god! But it must be like every day. It's not fun anymore, is
Yeah,
it?
honestly, I remember I celebrated 60K, and a few people were like, yeah, Charlie, just wait till 100K because it's gonna happen soon. And then I was like, okay, fine, I'm gonna stop doing those like 60K friends thank you posts after 60, and just wait till 100. So I'm actually not sure. I think it'd be nice to launch the community on 100K. It would be a nice milestone, but no pressure on my side if I don't. Besides that, just doing something super fun. Like I like to go to like a nice restaurant and just celebrate myself when I reach
Yeah,
those milestones. So
I guess you deserve it. Yeah, and I think when it comes to growth like this,
mm,
obviously everyone wants to grow. It's great if you get the numbers,
mm,
but I'm pretty sure that there is like a pressure with so many people following you, I don't know, getting so many DMs and everything.
mm.
So what's your take like on this side of things? Do you experience it as well, or did you learn how to deal with it? Because I feel like when I was getting a bit more of traction,
Mm,
I remember I spoke about it with Luis in the episode that we did some time ago,
mm,
that suddenly people start reaching out, you start getting more engagement. So I feel like that transition was nice, but at the same time unusual and harder to deal with.
mm.
So, have you got like any advice, or how did you approach this if you still experience it?
Yeah, 100%. I feel the pressure more than ever to make sure that I'm talking about the right things and not just blindly have to ensure that I'm a thought leader on the topics that I speak about. So yeah, definitely. I feel the pressure even in regards to how I interact with people on the platform. You know, people are watching me. People, you know, they look up to me, and yeah, it's growing day by day. Which I don't know. It's hard. I don't like to think about it too much, but to manage it, I'm not actually sure how I'm managing. I guess I'm just
Mm.
taking it as it comes, to be honest. But yeah, it's definitely a challenge when building in public and growing a personal brand. You're very vulnerable. But yeah, I think that's important. And I am quite a vulnerable, open person. So,
And what about when it comes to burnout?
ooh.
It's obviously a big topic as well, especially to try to stay consistent with the quality and everything.
Yeah, I don't know if you saw my post about my Duolingo streak ending, but I had like a.
Of course, I did.
Oh.
Yeah, I was sad that it because I use Duolingo as well,
Hmm.
and I can imagine I would be very disappointed if it happened to me if I lost my stride.
Yeah, honestly, it was like 3 years basically in the making, but it just got too much. That bloody owl just on my phone notifying me like, "Hey, you need to practice," and I was just like, "Ugh, "F this, man," because I wasn't really learning French at the rate that I wanted to, and with so much going on at the moment with like my LinkedIn DMs, just content, client work, everything, I had to cut something, and Duolingo sadly was the one that got cut.
Mm.
And yeah, it's difficult because like sometimes, you know, writing client work, I don't feel the same enthusiasm that I have for my own content. And that feels like a bit draining. But I know it's important to work hard now. So when I'm old and grey, I can just kick up my feet and be on an island somewhere relaxing. So it's hard, but I mean, I'm quite militant with my hours. You know, some people might think that I work crazy long hours, but I don't. I work like 9 to 5. Literally, when 5 o'clock comes around, that computer goes down. Obviously, I still spend
Yep.
some time in the evenings, like scrolling through LinkedIn, checking notifications, commenting on people's posts. But I'm super, super hard with that because I remember there was a period when in October, November, like the revenue was down and it was scary times, to be honest. I wasn't going to the gym. My step count was so down. So now I really prioritize logging off at 5 p.m., going to the gym, and ensuring that I have a very structured approach to my daily work.
Mhm. That makes sense. Yeah.
Mm.
And outside of gym, what are some other areas that help you to switch off, recharge, or that you just enjoy doing?
Yeah. Oh God, it's a hard one. I mean, I like to run as well, and I try to read as much as can. As much as I can, besides LinkedIn posts, I try to read up the other things. But yeah, besides that, I actually don't do too much, to be honest. Like, I'm a bit of a sado outside of LinkedIn.
LinkedIn is my life.
LinkedIn is life, yeah. Definitely that.
So when it comes to reading, I got some recommendations. I don't know if you actually discussed it in the previous episode. I
Yeah, we
cannot
did,
remember.
and I answered it very poorly, I remember.
Can you remind? I forgot what were your recommendations.
I think The Power of Now is probably the book that's had the most impact on my life by Eckhart Tolle, because I struggle with intrusive thoughts, and just staying mindful and in the present moment is, so powerful. I still struggle with it today, but it really changed my mindset and perception. But besides that, I actually can't remember the name of the book, but I love self-help books. I don't read too many business books because, I went to university for a reason. And I find that, just learning on the job and through experience is probably the most practical and enriching way to learn. I mean, that's how I've learned so much about AI, is just by posting about it and learning as I went, rather than reading a big old book about AI.
Yeah,
You don't usually retain written stuff unless you actually put it into practice or write it down and memorize it. I can't remember the book I'm reading at the minute, but I flip between self-help and some business books here and there. So The Lean Startup is another one that I like.
Oh, yes.
Oh, and I remember the one that I said, it was about the guy that he was an ex-CIA guy. It was about negotiation.
Oh, yes. Split the Difference.
Split the Difference, thank you.
Chris was, I think.
Yeah, that is one of my favorite books. I really, really enjoyed reading that one. And I always like to improve my soft skills as much as possible.
Mm-hmm. And then what about when it comes to movies? What are your favorite films? You don't watch films?
I'm actually not that great with TVs. Even I've been watching White Lotus with my partner recently, and I haven't really been engaged. But then suddenly by episode 4, I was like, "Oh, this is interesting now," and I started to become engaged by it. So yeah, I'm always just I think I suffer from attention.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Undiagnosed, but I really struggle to maintain attention. So I can't actually think of any good movies I've watched recently. I mean, I watched The Electric City recently on Netflix. I don't know.
Oh God!
But I thought that was cute. It was about robots and how they're sentient beings, and how us.
But we know that you are biased towards robots, so that one doesn't count.
Yeah, of course not. I am an AI after all.
One question that I would probably regret not asking now, and I'm pretty sure audience would want to know, is tell us about the tools that you actually use. What AI tools are in your workflow.
Yeah, good one. So I think obviously Canva is number one. If you can consider that AI, it's got features. But besides that, the main core ones I'd say are definitely Notion for content management, even though I don't use the AI suite in there because it's just not that good. And I'm a ChatGPT boy through and through. People like to talk about Gemini, people like to talk about Claude. I use them sometimes, but ChatGPT is just my bae, to be honest. I use GPTs for almost everything. I've built 6 now, and that's not even looking at the ones that I have in draft that I use for my client work. I literally build a custom GPT for each client, and it will write posts for them in their style, and it works very well. It's just leveraging the past copywriter framework that I made available on GPT, so it's got good feedback. People really enjoy using it. Besides that, Perplexity is actually a main one that I absolutely love so much since they got the deep research model. It's because it was great for retrieving real-time information before, but now with deep research, it follows a sequential deep chain of thought process. And it's an absolute game changer. And then, of course, EasyGen as well. I think it's a great tool for writing LinkedIn posts. And I typically combine that with my custom GPT outputs, and just to merge the two and see what I can come up with.
I mean, that makes sense because I'm also a ChatGPT person. I often read that, I don't know, Gemini is better for this, Claude for that, and that. And I'm I don't know if I'm boring, but I like to stick with ChatGPT because it does everything. I like it, and I feel if you know how to prompt, or if you prompt correctly, it gives you what you need.
Yeah, people talk about it sounding like a robot, and Claude's better for copywriting, but I think it's all down to the prompts, like you're saying. If you're half decent at prompt engineering, then it's like, and especially with 4.5, I actually find it so quirky, and we're past those days of Delve, fascinating, and those like clunky ChatGPT words we used to see all the time.
It's still fun that you can still see it in the comments on LinkedIn or somewhere.
Yeah, I don't know what those guys are doing, but yeah, it's pretty trash.
But I was a bit disappointed that you haven't mentioned fan post.
Oh, well, I mean, like, yeah, it honestly, I checked it out and it looks like an awesome tool. Like, I like the fact that you ask many questions before writing the post, and yeah,
No, it was just
yeah,
a joke. We are still working on it with Yonut, but anyone they want to try, feel free to explore and share any feedback
definitely
with us.
Yeah. I mean, kudos to you. And is it, wait, how do I say his name? Because I've been calling him Johnny because he's got like in his name bracket Johnny.
Yeah, that is true. But I actually asked him as well, and the right pronunciation is Yonut.
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 Yonut. Okay. Awesome.
Yeah, correct.
Yay.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely, guys.
And would you be, because I know that when we discussed before building your SaaS tool, I would imagine that maybe you'd try to build something similar because it combines AI as well as LinkedIn. Wasn't something similar on your mind as well?
Yeah, I think that the written side of the LinkedIn AI space, it's obviously becoming more saturated. Like, we have many players like EasyGen, Magic Post. Obviously, you're a new entrant into the market, so I don't really want to compete on that front. I think I'm known for my infographics, and it just makes sense because there isn't a tool out there that can do that. I tried with Ideogram. Oh yeah, that's another AI tool I'd love to add to the stack. I think Ideogram is top tier. I love it. And yeah, it doesn't do it very well. So it's, if napkins are pretty good, napkin AI for that, but there isn't one tool that does it for LinkedIn specifically. So if I could be one of the first to bring that to market, then that'd be an absolute game changer. But I think someone like Nick Brokimo is working on that already. So it'll probably be too late by the time I get around to it.
And now when you send idea out to people, who knows how many people will be working on it. So.
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, I think the SaaS space is very hard to break into and to maintain, like with the development cost, with the affiliates, with the marketing cost. Sounds like a lot of work. So for now, I don't think I'll be entering it this half of the year, but let's see what the end of 2025 brings us.
And one thing that I actually wanted to ask you as well is about the newsletter. Because I remember we spoke before, I was also trying to decide what platform to use. And I went for Beehiiv, and then I switched to Substack. And I remember you mentioned that you were thinking about switching to Beehiiv, if I'm not mistaken. But you're stuck with a Substack. So are you staying there, or what are your plans?
God, I'm literally second guessing myself every day with the newsletter, because Beehiiv allows you to add sequences and nurture people, whereas like Substack, you only get one welcome email to free and paid subscribers. So I don't know, it's quite hard. I'd love to switch over to Kit or Beehiiv, but I recently fell in love with Substack as I've started to diversify and publish content across different platforms. I'm on Threads, I'm on Instagram, I'm on Substack too, and hopefully soon to be YouTube. And it's a really cool platform for posting my LinkedIn content there, because then people subscribe to my page and ultimately join my newsletter. So I was like, wow, this is quite an effective way to get more email subscribers, which, email addresses are more important than followers, as that is your owned audience. So, if my LinkedIn profile was to go down one day, then I would have my Substack and the followers over there. So that's, I think I'm going to stay, to be honest, Thomas. Like, I mean, why did you switch to Substack?
Well, it's also a good question. I feel like I was in the same situation as you are. I was like, which one should I use? This one or this? I was using Beehiiv, but I liked in Substack that it's kind of more than just emails. That's like the kind of the platform as well, because you've got a feed, you can read people's notes. And I like just that you kind of create your profile and have more than just emails, if it makes sense. And I think you are actually one of the inspirations for me as well. That I like the way that you built your email there. And then I like how you keep posting notes, which kind of inspired me to start posting notes as well.
Mm.
Because for me, it's also that I have just so much time, so that I send an email each week. But I started posting also notes because I feel like that's how you can build like a relationship with the audience, share more information, and I like how other people do it. So for me, I personally like Substack. So for now, I'll probably stay, and I like the way you do it there. To be honest.
Thank you. Yeah, I mean, I think it's kind of like an underrated social media platform, Substack. So it's definitely one to invest in because I'm sure it's going to grow over time.
Yeah, but as you said, I was also confused with Git. That I know that it's a big player as well, and I was, Substack, Beehiiv, Git, which one? And there are many more. But I guess just try and see which one you like and which one works for you.
Kit seems to be good for the landing pages, whereas Substack, you're kind of limited in that regard. So they've all got trade-offs, I guess. And also the subscription fees. Like,
that is true.
Yeah. So Substack's free. So, hey.
And Charlie, you've been to quite a few podcasts, as well as this one for the second time.
Ooh.
So is there like a question that you wish any of the hosts asked you but did not?
That's quite a hard question. Maybe that question. No, joking. I guess it's no. I mean, I really enjoy podcasts because they're like just a very informal way of speaking with someone. It's not like, I mean, they really vary like podcast to podcast. Sometimes people want me to like do AI workflows and show them exactly what I do and how I do it. Whereas like your podcast, it's just chatting. So and I really enjoy that. It doesn't feel like too much pressure to have to present in a certain way.
What are then some podcasts that you listen to, if you listen to any?
Yeah, I'm not actually that big on the podcasts. Like again, it's the attention span side of things. Like I enjoy the shorts, like the stuff that you repurpose onto LinkedIn, because that's just way more bite-sized and manageable. But I listen to this one quite frequently called the Digital Marketing Podcast. It's set up by these people in the UK, in Jersey. And I find that just really helpful for consolidating marketing knowledge, because it's been like 4 years since I left university. So it's always nice to brush up on like SEO, and they talk about GEO, generative engine optimization. And just to make sure I'm learning the marketing best practices. But obviously, there's like AI Report, there's Audrey's podcast, there's your podcast. There's people that I appreciate, but I usually consume the content on the LinkedIn feed.
Yeah. And it's obviously hard to catch up with everything.
Yeah, like
I can see it by myself as well.
Yeah, of course. I think if I was like commuting to work and I needed something to like, fill that space and, just listen to, then I definitely would. But because I work from home, I'm like, get out of bed, brush my teeth. I'm like, let's go. I'm on the laptop instantly.
Yeah. So then, Charlie, it's going to be very obvious that people should follow you on LinkedIn. But what other platforms you want people to follow you? What other services you want to promote, and any other stuff to tell people to have a look at?
Sure, yeah. I mean, as I mentioned, I've diversified over to Instagram, Substack, Threads. You can catch me over there. I believe I have the handle Charlie Hills on all of them. That should be easy enough to find. But besides that, watch out for my community launch. It's going to be all about AI LinkedIn. I've got some warm interest already. So I think that's probably the next big move from me. And I'm sure people will find a ton of value, because it'd be great to connect with people on a deeper level rather than just through LinkedIn posts. So
I agree. And then, Charlie, before we finish, any final piece of wisdom, final message, or something to share?
I mean, also I just think that people should be as for LinkedIn specifically, just like as weird as you possibly can be while staying authentic to who you are. Because I think people like my content because it's authentic, and I'm not just like boring. Like B2B could be very boring, and just by being a little bit quirky, embracing your weirdness, I think that really helps to stand out on the feed. Because, for example, people love my pinned comments because they're just
oh my God,
so weird.
I think it's perfect. I agree.
I think that will really help stand out, because LinkedIn's getting more and more crowded. So be yourself and be weird as fuck.
Yeah, it's a great message. I was just about to say that with pinned comments, it's always Charlie versus Noam with the best pinned comments.
Yeah, no. I mean, he put me onto them, but yeah, for sure. It's the battle of the pinned comment. Check out pinned comment GPT if you need some help with that too.
Yeah, it's a smart idea. Yeah. Cool, Charlie, I think then we can finish it. I really enjoyed it. It was a pleasure to celebrate my milestone of episodes and also kind of in advance, but when we release to celebrate your milestone of the followers.
Yes.
Thank you so much because it was a really amazing conversation. And I'm one of those people I keep following, always enjoy your content, and you are inspiration for me. So thank you so much and keep smashing it as always.
Oh, thank you, mate. Yeah, you too. Honestly, it's been a real pleasure to be invited back and just to chat with you. It's great to catch up. And yeah, thank you for having me.
Thanks for listening to Produced by with Tomen. Check the show notes for all the links, and don't forget to subscribe, like, and share your feedback. Speak soon.